Well, we got a hold of the President, David Chartrand, on the line. I hope he's feeling well. David, are you there? Are you feeling well?
I'm here, Ray. Can you hear me clear?
I can hear you very clear. Are you okay?
Excellent. I'm on speakerphone because I got to keep my Métis Hour update on my phone at the same time because there's birthdays and that. I may not forget.
Oh, no.
So I'm on a speakerphone?
Yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to speakerphone, you cut in and out.
Okay, well, let me see what I can do here. Maybe I'll take myself off speakerphone for a second. Okay. How about now?
Oh, there? Much better.
Much better.
Okay. Well, I'll go back into when I have to remember the birthdays here. So let me start off with work first. Then, Ray's been a busy week. We had actually quite a number of meetings. I had spoke before the Senate on Friday, and that went very well. We were talking on the United Declaration, of course. That Bill 15 is essential, and we were pushing the Senate to make sure that it doesn't get delayed in that process and held up for people asking for amendments or changes to the United Declaration. And I said it's history to be made, and we need to make sure it's done. It's the third attempt to get this thing approved in Canada. And if this country really sincere about reconciliation, respecting Indigenous rights, and at the same time the prosperity and future of where Indigenous people will fit in Confederation and then actually fit in Canada in the context of its whole elaboration of how it's moving in on its agenda, but it's leaving a lot of times, of course, the Indigenous people out. So that went very well. I myself, Grand Chief, Assembly Grand Chief, First Nations, Perry was there also, and then Natan from the Inuit. We tag team basically, I think, at the end of the day, all three of us were on the same position. So just for people out there, we're pushing very hard. We want this to be passed on royal assent before June. So when people understand when legislations come in Canada, they got to go through 3 readings, goes through Senate, and the final conclusion is called royal assent. That's when the last vote happens after it goes through all these stages. So people, it's not that easy to pass anything. It's there's a lot of work in getting it done. So I want to thank all those people in the back rooms that participate and get this agenda on the forefront and keep on pushing to get it passed as soon as possible. On other news, I also had a chance to meet with Minister Miller twice, in fact. I met with Miller first on the child and family, along with the provincial territorial ministers across Canada, and that went very well. We did echo our issues of concern where we believe the province and territories need to be more open to the transition that's taking place, and people will probably wonder what I'm talking about. Just quickly, I'll give a snapshot. It's legislation now, of course, of Bill 92, where child and family will be devolved to Indigenous governments across Canada, where we will start to have a direct relationship only with Canada, and there may be some relationship with provinces and territories, but as long as it doesn't overrule our governments and our future of how we see child welfare to be operated in our communities, in our culture, and in our nation. So that was very well received. We pushed hard on the agenda, making sure that we were not being derogatory in any ways to our provinces, but making it very clear. For example, in Manitoba, the minister and their office attend these meetings, but they don't speak. So we don't know what they're thinking. We don't know what their agenda is. We do know one thing, which I'm proud of, again, on the Prime Minister of this country. They have 1 year to participate. If they don't, then we just have a direct relationship with Canada, and Canada and the province will fight it out on the funding after. But it's better if they participate now, and so we can get a better handle. And of course, child and family, the big key issue for us. I raised it very specifically, strongly. You look at our extended family, our elders, our grandparents. They're pivotal in our culture, and they're probably the best parents we could ever get our hands on. And in the old days, you couldn't use them because the child welfare system considered them old and inadequate to be guardians. So that's not the Indigenous cultural way, I tell you. In fact, just like I raised my granddaughter, and it's like I said to my granddaughter once, would you be okay if you wanted to go back to live with Mama? Oh, no. She said, I'm not crazy. I want to live with Papa. I got everything here. So, she knows she knows she's queen and boss of our house. So, but again, of course, she has a close relationship with her mom, but Gloria and I, of course, are the main raisers of my granddaughter, based on my grandson's challenge he still has in his life. And anyways, but But those are examples where grandparents have always played such a pivotal role. But the system in the past would not allow it. And then there's other matters like the Métis lost one of our children to the Filipino family. Not that we're being negative against Filipino families, but they were foster parents and they took one of our children in care. And they were supposed to not pursue that they would go for custody, but they did. And the court ruled in favor of them, saying that the child was already connected to them, so it'd be harmful for the child to be taken and given back to its Métis family. So those policies, of course, were driven by the province, created by the province. So if we have control, we'll make sure they could never take our children away from us to any other culture but our own. Same thing with First Nations, same thing with Inuit. So that's why this bill is so important, and that's the message we gave again to Canada and to the provincial territorial ministers, that our governments will decide the fate. We have a very democratic system. Our people know what's best for us, and that's when we go back to the grassroots, and they'll tell us what's best for our children and our families. And it actually will take a community and a family and a nation to raise a child. And I said to them, one of the things that you guys don't understand, in a non-Indigenous world, at 18, you think the child's an adult and grown up and goodbye, you fly off the nest. Not in our culture. Mm-hmm. They're still children. You know, you still have responsibility. Once you accept the responsibility of a parent, that's going to be your child for the rest of your life. It's not that you fly off the coop at 18 and goodbye, and you're a man or a woman now. You don't need us no more. That's not how it works in our culture. So, anyways, we had a good discussion, but of course, it was more more well spoken, and I'm speaking more like not a politician. I'm speaking more like David Chartrand here. So when I talk to my people, but again, it was well done, and again, I think the team, the staff, for getting it done. I also had a meeting with him on health legislation on Friday. That went very well. Him and of course his Parliamentary Secretary Pam Dunoff, I think is the last name. And anyways, we spoke about the health legislation. I echoed again. For Manitoba, you can't get a better example than what's happening to us here in the province, where we've been completely expelled out of the involvement with vaccines for our people. Mm-hmm. Our people are treated in such a derogatory, systemic discrimination way, and the sense of not treating us as they would treat, knowing full well the First Nations health conditions, housing conditions, and all the other challenges they face is similar to the Métis people. However, the Premier decided that this is not going to be. There's going to be a way he's going to find to hurt the Métis people, and he would not give us the vaccine. So we are finally making a breakthrough, and on this issue, we had a meeting last week. Our staff, federal government, has been pushing very hard on pushing the province that it's time that the Métis now be given the vaccines, that we shouldn't be treated in that way. So we will be getting vaccines to the Federation. I understand Canada is going to be sending in some freezers, and the military will be involved in organizing the setup. And the MMF will be able to start giving out vaccines. And we're trying to figure out how much vaccines are going to be issued to us. As you know, thousands upon thousands were given to the First Nations, and we're hoping that thousands upon thousands will be given to the Métis. So we can start dealing with 18 and over, but now with Pfizer, we can give 12 and up. So Pfizer, the vaccine, you can start giving children 12 and up a shot. So again, that's going to be up to our parents to have good discussions on that. But knowing the facts that we hear out there, how dangerous this new variant, and for people to know that right now, nearly half the cases that you have, as you've seen, 502 were yesterday announced in Manitoba. Across, we're back again to that high number, scary number. More deaths will occur, of course. Sam Anderson contacted me yesterday, and his good friend Niles passed away. My condolences to that family. And COVID took him. But he also had other family members that he lost to COVID. So, Sam, my prayers go out to you. So it's a dangerous issue. And then this new India variant has also arrived now into Manitoba. And, of course, if you heard in India, there's 300 and something thousand a day that are getting this variant. And there's over 3,000 people dying a day in India right now. Wow. And they don't even have places to bury them. Right? They're just burning them. Mm-hmm. They're just putting them in piles and on top of different makeshift structures, and they're burning them because they have no place to bury them.
Right.
So that's how scary it's got. But you got to look at a population of over 1 billion people there. But the point is, this variant is really hitting hard, and now it's hit home in Manitoba. So that's why we got to take this issue very seriously. That's why I fight so hard for vaccines, that our people are entitled and should be entitled to have them, as all Manitobans, including the First Nations. So we'll keep on. As I said, good news is Canada has really stepped heavy on this one for us. And I think the provinces, they're either told to get in partnership or they'll come directly with the Métis government. So I'm looking forward to that and that announcement to come in. But the health legislation is going to be the real pivotal one, the real change maker, you guys, because that's where we're going to see so much of a difference taking place. Because when that health legislation, just like you heard me talk about child and family, where we would have the decision-making of policies, the laws, that how we would govern child and family, well, the same thing will happen in health legislation. Right now, the Métis don't have, the only program we do have is the one MMF gave, and that's our own program, where we give free medication to our elders 65 and up, but now we're going to 55 and up. But that's our own doing. It's not a federal program, it's not a provincial program, it's a Métis government program, where we're using our own money and profits we're earning from the pharmacy and paying for the medicine so our people can get free access to medicine. So I raised that with Canada. They should be actually paying that bill. It shouldn't be the Métis government. We pay enough to our taxes. They should be actually paying that based on a Daniels decision, and we won at the Supreme Court of Canada in 2016. So again, that health legislation is going to be very, very important. It talks about from everything from optical glasses, optically. You talk about dental. You talk about ambulance services to in and out to urban centers, to doctors, to specialists. All that is up for discussion now. And I want to thank the federal government for supporting and putting forth that they're willing to support this health legislation. It will be an Indigenous health legislation in Canada, the first ever in this country. And the Métis will finally be having a separate program directly for the Métis Nation citizens. And I'm telling you, it's going to make a lot of families that struggle so hard, can't even afford their medicine, and it gets such a challenging thing to hear when people are struggling the way they are, using every penny they have to try to keep themselves in a better health state, or their child sick, or their family member sick, and they're struggling to try to keep their family alive, which shouldn't be the case in this country. We have a rich country, and this health legislation should change all of that. So I'm looking forward to that coming in. We'll have further discussions across. We'll have, of course, consultations with our people, so we'll have further discussions across Manitoba. Also had a HRD meeting, and that's one of the top programs that we still have in our government. It's one of the programs I've always been proud of. And that program, of course, is all the training rate and employment opportunities, and now bursaries. So that program is doing exceptionally well. Even during COVID, Gray, we surpassed our numbers. We had over 600 and something people employed during COVID. So it shows you we're getting to a point where we defeat all the odds, and because we have a very strong operation in place, and we have very strong people, strong families and parents that are pushing their kids to make sure to get a training and education to get a good job. So again, also the students, we issued that check for $500. I said it's additional, and it doesn't sound like much, $500, but you're talking $2,000, so you're talking $1 million check every time you write that $500, because there's 2,000 students in the universities and colleges. So, wow. but in funding rate, just for 5,000 and more that we give, so far we've given probably close to $7-8 million to our students. So, and I'm very proud of that right now.
Oh, yes.
Something I'm so proud that we have now, and it's a permanent program we have with Canada. And again, that's the hard work of your Métis government fighting to make sure that we get a fair share of the opportunities in this country. So that meeting went very, very well. And of course, those other meetings, I had different conversations with different lawyers. People probably read the article today about the Court of Appeal case that we lost and won, because the Court of Appeal supported us that the hydro agreement we had was actually a duty to consult arrangement that should have been recognized. The lower court disagreed, and the Court of Appeal overruled that court and said, no, this is a Section 35 duty to consult relationship. However, we believe the province tried its best to do it right. So I think that's where there's a massive failure in the ideology. The courts in Manitoba hate to rule against governments, but unfortunately governments are not perfect. And the province of Manitoba is clearly on the wrong in this one. So we will be appealing this to the Supreme Court of Canada and pushing very hard. But it should scare everybody, because, Ray, what it does in First Nation leaders listening right now, or citizens listening right now, what it actually says to you is that the Pallister government, and we see what they're doing right now. That's why the Treaty 1 and us had meetings already. What they're doing to farmers, ranchers, what they're doing to Crown lands, what they're doing to diversions, like even the Lake St. Martin diversion. They're not consulting. They're just saying this is how it's going to happen. Like they are doing in child welfare, Ray, for example. when they're taking the allowance money from our children and making the allowance money pay for child and family services. They owe these Métis children about 31 million. They owe the First Nation probably 100 million they stole from us.
Wow.
So, but they're putting in legislation, Ray, that you can't sue them. So this is a part that where this government is really trying to misuse the powers of government and take away rights that are supposed to be protected in the Constitution. So when they did this to us in Hydro, everybody should take heed, especially First Nations. What this government is saying is that if you have an agreement, I can go cancel yours. I can go there and cancel yours and say, well, the government changed or are putting new policy, new legislation, we're canceling your agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's the danger of these. But these agreements are supposed to have standing. They're supposed to have some process of respect and reconciliation and the duty to consult, the purpose behind all of it. So that's why we're going to appeal this thing to the Supreme Court of Canada, and I hope we get more of a favorable position at that level. But definitely, we won the argument that the government said this was not a duty to consult. This was not anything to do with rights of the Métis. They lost on that argument. But we hope to win their argument that 67 million they canceled from us, and the other 5 is all together. It's about 80-something million. We're still suing civilly, so people know that. I'm still suing Pallister and the government for that 80-something million and maybe more for stress and all their other hardships we're facing because of this agreement. So people have to know that. So you read that in the paper, understand your Métis government's on top of this file, and we'll be pushing very, very hard to get ourselves in the Supreme Court of Canada and put our arguments there. So, Ray, I want to say some happy birthdays. I'm going to put you back on speakerphone. And then so I have to go back into my email.
Right.
So just give me a few seconds, okay?
Yep, for sure. Don't forget, folks, tonight or tomorrow night from 6 to 8. Let me see here. The special Mother's Day edition of The Beat goes on. We'll run from 6 to 8 with the band Clint Dudium. And go to mmfmb.ca or MMF YouTube channel to tune in. It should be, that should be a good show.
It'll be a good show, Ray. This is, again, a special tribute to Mother's Day for all our mothers, not just Métis mothers, all our mothers out there that will be watching this, all First Nation, all Friends of the Métis, all the Métis Nation families out there. Make sure you get thrown into that show, as Ray's talking, 6 to 8. You're going to have some of your top artists. A lot of the songs that have been chosen is about women, about mothers, so that this way we can send a positive message to each and every one of them, how important they are. And for the Métis nations, I always said, we're a maternal nation, and they're very, very, very pivotal in the entire operation of our entire existence as a Métis nation and as a government. So Mother's Days are very special to many of us.
Yes,
Myself
for sure.
And Ray, we lost our moms, but they're still here with us. And I heard you sing that song to your mom today, Ray.
Yeah.
And so that's great to know. I hope my mom heard it at the same time.
Oh.
And so it's good to know that we at the Federation take this very seriously. Even Donald made sure that all the women got flowers at the office. And so people will be asking, well, this new rule coming in that Pallister, because of his massive screw up, I'll use that language, pardon me, but that he did on this pandemic, it's caused us now into another third wave of mass destruction, really, in many ways, and many more people die, many more people get sick because of his massive failure. So now they're putting all these tough rules. Can this show still go on? Yes, 10% of our operations in our building can still be in place. So this is happening between 6 and 8, and it will be designed that only a few artists can walk in there. The rest have to wait either in their vehicle or outside in different rooms, completely out of touch with each other, to make sure that there is no chance of COVID in any way catching itself in there. So we're taking all precautions necessary and trying to follow all the rules that are set in place. So please, you guys, watch the show. 2 hours of entertainment. Sit down, maybe have dinner with your mom and your grandma. Sit down and have a good meal and have your toe tapping. And just like you saw JJ's music today, we're driving the vehicle. My legs started moving, and I told Dawn, I said, Dawn, this is some of the best damn music that anybody in any nation created in this world.
You're right.
Your music somehow just goes into your bloodline, your veins. All of a sudden, you just want to start moving. Even I don't know how to dance, and my feet start moving. So again, it's a powerful opportunity we have. And please watch the show 6 to 8 tonight. Go into Beat Goes On, mmf.mb.ca. You'll find it there. If you go to the MMF website, you'll be able to find it, and at the same time YouTube. And please enjoy the music. These entertainers want to make you proud and make our mothers very, very proud. So let me start off first. Congratulations to Tiffany and, of course, my nephew Curtis. They had a little girl. Her name is Anika. She was born on Thursday, May 6th. great news for us, except challenging news now. They had to fly her. She was born in Yorkton because of the hospital. They had to, of COVID, they had to go to Yorkton. They live in Swan. And, however, there's some challenges we're facing now. They flew the baby to Regina. And so there's doing some further check up on matters that are potentially affecting our new Anika into our family, because that's my brother Albert's son, and I'm sure he'll be speaking to my mom in heaven to talk to the Virgin Mary to send support to Anika out there to make sure that she gets okay, and they find a way to make sure that there's no challenges when she gets to Regina. So they flew her there last night, and Bernice and Curtis and Tiffany are already out there, and to be with Anika. And of course, I did my prayers last night, and this is one of my family now, so I'm definitely asking my citizens across the province, especially Denise and others who pray all the time, to send prayers to Bernice and Curtis and Tiffany, so little Anika can come out there healthy. And also, I want to say happy 32nd anniversary, 32nd to Debbie and Doug 4G, St. Eustache, beautiful St. Eustache, and of course we're building a daycare center there. I want to say happy 80th birthday to Emile Nault, Rochelle Nault, who actually, many people probably know her name. If not, you should know her name. She works in our MCLD department, and she's the one that really helps a lot of people with their challenges, whether it's on unemployment insurance, workers' comp, social services, child family, and funerals, all that. That's Rochelle. That's her dad celebrating 80th birthday, so congratulations there, Emile. Happy 80th birthdays also go to Mary Conway. That's, again, Sharon from my office. Sharon Pronto is the director of LRI. That's her mom. Happy birthday on May 7th. Happy 80th. Happy 18th birthday to Reese Mayer, Judy Mayer's granddaughter. She's celebrating this Sunday, May 9th, on Mother's Day. So they're going to steal a little bit of her birthday, I'm sure, Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is more important. And I'm sure she's going to try her best to spoil her own grandma, Judy, and her mom. So, again, with that being said, Ray, I want to say special happy Mother's Day to everyone. And, again, how proud I am as a Métis government that we're so big. I heard all the jobs you're announcing, Ray. Graduations are coming up, and we're sending a message to all those graduates. Look at the Federation, apply at the Federation. We want to hire more and more and more people. We have over 900 employees in the province and still growing. So, again, with that being said, your Métis government is reaching you in every angle they can, all the services we can. And I just want to tell you again that we are so proud. And to all the parents out there, I know you're proud of your family members about to graduate, your child, your grandson, your cousin, your niece. So I'm just telling you that from our side, we're so proud too. So again, to all of those students, keep on dreaming, keep on believing, and your Métis government will be there to help you. So I'm here with my granddaughter now standing beside me. I'm going to say goodbye because we're going to spoil Gloria tomorrow. That's her job now. That's her mama.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a barbecue tomorrow for her, but it's too bad only 3 of us will be able to be there.
Oh, no, I wanted to come. I wanted to come. Oh, no.
Oh, I got a good steak, Ray, and everything. So I want to go in and got a present for her already. Spoil her a little bit. But for me, she said just cooking for me is more than enough. And that'll mean a lot to me for me and baby to cook for her tomorrow.
For sure.
Okay, well, take care, everybody. Happy Mother's Day again to all. And keep up the good work, Ray. And everybody out there, please be safe. Be careful. Wear your mask. Only be around family, the ones you know that are safe. And those that have vaccines already, try to help those that don't and be a role model. So take care, everybody, and to our young people, keep on making us proud. Thank you very much.
All right, David, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Okay, have a good day, David, for sure. And I'm glad he's feeling a lot better.